95-95 at the end of regulation time. McDaniel with 29. Polynice with 13. Creek with 12. Payton with 10 for the Sonics. Cage, they still have ingested the 11 rebounds. The parent did not give him a board on that other play a while ago.
But, Bob, you know, the real travesty there is, despite the fact that it didn't look like a foul, and then if there was any contact at all by Cage, they call the foul on McKee. That's his 6th foul, and he's out of the ball game.
Yeah.
And you can clearly see on the replay, Cage, although he was in the vicinity, did not dodge Kersey. A blown call. I don't care how you look.
Well, the fact that they called it on McKee tells you that it was a guessing call as much as anything else.
You're right.
And I think this is exactly what we were looking at. And you know, you and I have not been ones to get on the officials at all times. And I even said earlier, I felt they've done a pretty good job in covering this ball game tonight. But to apparently blow one right down in crunch time like that is very difficult for a team to swallow. Now, of course, and they're taking Derek McKee out of there. This is going to hurt the Sonics. And let's see, with Michael Cage, that would have been how many fouls for Michael? He could probably afford that foul a little bit more easily. That would have only been his 3rd.
Jack Madden and Ronnie Garrison, of course, the son of Darryl Garrison, the head of officials of the NBA. Ronnie was the man that made the call. He's the man that came to the scores table and made the call. 95-95. We go into overtime, and we can only hope that the Sonics get their offense adjusted here in the overtime. In the 4th quarter, the Sonics really shot themselves in the foot with poor shooting in the quarter, Steve. We'll figure that out in a moment. Robinson and Kemp will jump up. Kemp, though, will play in the overtime as McKee is fouled out on that call. Tap is won by the Blazers. Scoring first is so important in the overtime. Porter outside, covered by Payton. Looks it to Kersey. Out on top to Williams. Quickly over it goes. Clyde the glide with it to Porter. Porter head of the key. A long jump shot. It's up good. Terry Porter. 27 for Terry Porter. 97-95. Blazers by 2. 4:35 to go in the overtime. Payton has it. Pumps it over to Kemp. Out wide in the wing. Kemp makes a pass inside. Looks to Lupin. Can't. Passing lane shut off. Porter doing a nice job. Next man up on his tippy toes. Makes the pump shot. Turns. Wheels the shot up. Tie ball game in overtime. Next man has 31. 97-97. Porter up the floor to Robinson. Inside pass to Kersey. He is fouled. The Street undercut him. Street was leaning on him from behind and literally took the legs out from underneath him. That is the 4th foul on Sedale. And so to the line goes Jerome Kersey, the man who actually sent this game into overtime when he had 2 attempts and only hit 1 of 2.
Street on that foul. It was strictly a positioning foul as they were both positioning themselves along the baseline on the shot.
Kersey's shot is up. It is good. Yeah, I think I split my sport coat in half on that last play. Kersey's shot is up. It is good. 15 for Kersey. Oh, boy. Right at the buzzer. Foul call. Kersey hits 1 of the 2 free throws. We're tied at 95 in the overtime. But with Kersey hitting the free throw, the Blazers now lead at 99-97. Next man ties it with a long jumper out of the way. 33 for Xavier McDaniel. 99 all. Porter up the floor to Robinson. A drop step spin. Double team to the trailer. Williams at the 3-point line. Over it goes to Kersey on the wing. Back down on the smaller 3. Turns, drops inside. Blocked by Cage. Picked up by Mike. What a game by Cage. Outlet pass to Payton. Up the floor to 3. Great covered by Drexler. Street picks up his dribble. Looking for help. Gives to Kemp. Now back to Sedale. Gets a pick from Kemp. Pull up. Sedale takes the shot. He will. This one rolls around and out. Kemp keeps it alive. Kemp tied up inside by Kersey. There's no jump ball called. Right out in front of Ronnie Garrison. He's missing a great game. Drexler outside to Porter. Porter double team. Porter from 20. No. Rebound by Williams off his fingertips. He controls it outside. Cliff Robinson a 20-footer. Yes. Robinson has 12. 3:07 to go in overtime. 101-99. Blazers by 2. X-Man starts up the knee and line. Backs on Kersey. Fires. Shot will not count. But he was fouled before the shot. This one is on Jerome Kersey. That is the 4th foul on Kersey, and the foul called by Ron Garrison, who, as Bob mentioned, has done a nice job, along with Jack Madden here tonight, and David Jones through the course of the game. 2:58 to go in the overtime. 101-99 the score. Payton works outside. Payton covered by Terry Porter. Payton makes the pass outside of McDaniel, closely countered by Kersey. 3 passes now. End of the key. Over to X-Man. Isolated one-on-one with Earl Kersey, 7 on the shot clock. Next man steps back. Chris Evans dribble leads, helps, gets it low. Kemp an up fake. Kemp turns. In traffic, did he draw the foul? No. Skips it up, missed the shot, got his rebound. Reloads up, shot block. Cage turns, fires. Basketball count, foul called inside by Jack Madden. Madden calls the foul on Robinson.
I tell you, when Kemp gets inside, he is so strong, he is so tough as he grabs that rebound, double pump, triple pump, gets quadruple teamed in there, gets a shot. Now, the whistle may have sounded kind of slow. That's why Cage got that ball, put it back in. A lot of fans here probably thought it could have counted, but Kemp had already been fouled.
John's free throws up, it rattles in there. Big free throw for the 21-year-old who had a birthday just about a week ago. 2:33 to go here in the overtime. Kemp to tie it. He does. Sean has 6 in the game. Big rebound and 2 big free throws from Sean Kemp. We're tied at 101. 2:27 to go in the overtime quarter. A pass high post to Buck Williams. Buck turns, feeds it out to the wingman. It's Robinson. Handing off and screening for Drexler. Knifes into the lane. Dishes outside the Porter. 8 on the shot clock for Terry Porter. Porter pulls up a 3. Off the mark. Rebound. Michael Cage again. Outlet pass. Payton spins out of his own backcourt by Drexler. Lobs it. The X on the wing. He's open to take the lead. He missed the shot. Rebound tapped out of bounds. Porter was inside of Kemp. Off his hands, out of bounds. Sonics basketball.
Close call on that one, and Seattle may have gotten a bit of a break. The Blazers' big argument that the Sonics touched it last. If they did, if they got a break, they had one coming.
Porter had inside position, however, on Kemp on that one. 2:02 to go in the overtime. 101 the score. Reed has it left of the arc. Reed takes it beyond the three-point mark. Darren Drexler out on it. Kemp comes out this screen. Now drops off the pick, drops low. Kemp looking for the ball. Reed won't give it to him. Swings it out. Centering it is Payton. Payton covered by Porter. Hands off to Xavier McDaniel for the shot clock. Yaxie leans a wild shot. Grazes iron. Sonics have a rebound shot. Inside the ball. Batted free by X. Picked up by Payton. Outside the three. He'll take it right back to the hole. Draws the deep. This is the Cage. Baseline jumper. Good! Michael Cage from Sedale. 103-101. A minute 28 remaining in the game. Sonics by 2. Drexler, a wild baseline pop. No. 3 battles. Buck for the rebound. Williams pulls it free. Outside to Porter. Back to the hole. A banker on the run. Terry Porter has 29. 103-103. 1:14 remaining in the game. We're in overtime at the Coliseum tonight. Reed covered by Drexler outside. Reed on the far flank. Down low X. Cuts to the end line. He's double teamed by Kersey and Drexler. Out to 3. Back inside X. 6 on the shot clock. X turns, face, fires. He hit that shot running away and gives the number 1 as he heads down the wing. X-Man with 35. Porter comes back. Blazers trail by 2. The pass to Williams. Broken up and stolen by Cage. 44 seconds remaining in the game. Reed wants to circle outside and set it up. Sonics by 2, 105-103. Michael Cage has come up with one big play after another. But Michael got a finger in the eye. Sprints over to Casey Jones, says call a timeout. Casey will. And with 33 seconds remaining in the game, 9 on the shot clock, the Sonics lead by 2, 105-103.
Interesting on that last play now with 33 seconds to go and the Sonics having possession of the ball in a 2-point lead. Michael Cage had the finger in the eye, was coming out of backcourt, was trying to get somebody's attention. Reed had the ball. Finally, they did. And again, as you take a look at the play here, going inside, Kersey and Michael Cage knocked the ball away as he got the quadruple team in there. Michael reached around to the right, grabbed it, and as Kevin mentioned, comes up with big play after big play tonight. Michael has come up with 9 points, 13 rebounds. He has to have several steals in the ball game. He has done an excellent job here, and early in the game, you'll recall, he got Kevin Duckworth into early foul trouble. The Seattle Supersonics, so far in this overtime, have now hit 4 out of 8 for 50%. The Trailblazers 3 out of 7 at 43%. Xavier McDaniel, just a tremendous job. Turnaround jumper every time he's gotten that ball. Kevin, tonight he's been double-teamed. He was double-teamed on that last turnaround jumper of his. And here he continues to make them. He has 35 points, which ties his high for the season. And he's just about 6 shy of his career high. I'm going to have to check that again. I thought it was 41, but it may be 42.
I think it is 41 against the New York Knicks, but you can check it anyway. Sonics lead 105
41 against the Knicks. Yep, so he's just 6 shy of that. But let's hope he doesn't have to get to it tonight. If he gets to it, it means they would have gone into another overtime.
Correct. 33 seconds remaining. Sonics have possession. 9 seconds remaining on the shot clock. We talked about Michael before the game. The fact that he had not been shooting well. Scoreless at Phoenix. The rebounds have really sustained him. Have given him a ray of optimism. He is an athlete who will come back after having a bad ball game. I tell you, he was hurt more than anybody else after that Phoenix game on the flight home. He sulked. And he has come up big with 2 blocks, 2 steals here tonight. 105-103. Sonics with 9 on the shot clock. But the shot clock never started, and Ronnie Garrison detected that quickly, Bob.
Yep. What I started to mention, too, as you were doing the soliloquy there on Michael Cage, which was a grand one, is the fact that with his 13 rebounds tonight, that is his best effort of the season. 10 had been his previous high. Here's a guy who at one time averaged 10 per season. Remember several years ago when he led the NBA with the LA Clippers down there. Had 30 against the Sonics in that final game. But I tell you, he's showing a flare tonight. Where it has been, I'm not sure, but it is certainly there tonight.
And I think the key to this whole thing is the fact that Duckworth had 3 fouls at the 7:25 mark of the first quarter. The Sonics have up-tempoed this ball game to the point where Duckworth really would not be a factor, and Duckworth has not seen much time at all here in the second half. You know, there's a discussion as to really how much time is on the shot clock.
Well, and the one bad thing about it, too, with the officials not getting, with the timer not getting that clock started, it breaks up whatever rhythm and momentum the Sonics had on court. Now they're going to have to waste some time to get the ball in bounds and to get something started. So they may find themselves now in a position of having to rush a shot as the crowd boos when it's announced they only have 4 seconds left.
And they will have to rush a shot with 4 seconds, you bet. 27 seconds remaining in the game. Sonics lead by 2 in overtime. Kemp fires a fourth shot that was tipped and went into the hands of Drexler. Here comes Porter with a chance to tie the game. Porter blasts down the wing. He's turned by Payton. Porter outside working on the rookie. Porter rubs off Payton, takes it inside. Shot blocked by Kemp. Porter picks it up. His banker not there. Cage directs it into the hands of Porter. Blocked by Kemp. Saved by 3. Inside to Williams. Poked away by Cage. Saved by Kemp. Inbounds to McDaniel and a foul on Jerome Kersey. Bumped by X. He bumps X back. They push. The official steps in. David Jones, Jack Madden, and Ronnie Garrison. 105-103. 2 seconds remaining in the overtime. You can't bump a man when you've got a lead with 2 seconds remaining in overtime. Let's see what the officials come up with here. As X-Man pushed Kersey first on that wild exchange. And Jim Ross, if we can roll that one back, that was a gem. Let's take a look at it here.
That was one of the wildest few seconds. That was one of the wildest few seconds. Started with that shot there by Porter. Now watches that ball. Flips around. Drexler or Porter again. There's 3. A battle under the basket. Cage almost got it. It comes out. There's Drexler. Kemp. Kemp gets it. Whips it back in. Well, I don't know whether X actually shoved him or not. He was looking for the ball.
Right there. Shoved after the whistle. See, the foul was called. The shove was after the whistle. Now, we sorted out. The foul stopping play. Was it against Xavier McDaniel, as you saw there, to reach in on Kersey? Or when X-Man picked the ball up off the floor, was the foul on Kersey, who then lunged at the ball? We did not hear the whistle due to the din of the crowd here, a sellout. So with 2 seconds remaining, Madden and Jones will sort it out. And was there a foul when the 2 pushed? We'll take a look at it again. Now watch Porter steer it inside. Here's a great play by Kemp. Look at the deflection. And you see it again. Cage with a block inside. Ball tapped to the corner by 3.
Great play by Freak there to save that ball. And again, here's a great play by Kemp. Look at him as he goes out of bounds but flips the ball back in. Now the crowd is booing as the call has been made.
A technical on Kersey.
Yep, and Freak makes the free throw to give the Sonics a 3-point lead.
Street now has 11 in the game, 106-103, with 2 seconds remaining in the contest. Rick Adelman is out with the officials. A foul is caught on Xavier McDaniel, is that correct? And the Blazers will have possession. So that was the original call. A foul on X, but then after the fact, after the whistle, they call a technical foul on Jerome Kersey, who pushed Xavier McDaniel, but only after being bumped after the whistle by McDaniel. So I think the Sonics, Bob, caught a huge break, which sort of evens things for that whistle at the buzzer, which allowed the Blazers to tie it at 95 to get into overtime. It's funny how these things come around and go full cycle.
Well, no question about that. Again, I tell you, this was a wild few seconds.
There was the foul. That was on X. Now, after the whistle,
Yeah, but you see, this has been called properly. They called a foul on X. They called a foul after the whistle, a technical on Kersey to give the free throw.
But my point is, X-Man pushed Kersey after the whistle. Kersey comes back and pushes. But the thing is, as you can see, David Jones, the official, just as he had turned, as so often the case in the NBA, all he saw was the reaction of Kersey to the push. I mean, there's so many times in the NBA, Bob, as you know, you see that occur with the officials. We're out of the corner of the eye. All they see maybe is the second shove or whatever. The two players get together. So the Sonics catch a break. They got to make it stick, though. They can't foul with 2 seconds remaining and up 3 points here in overtime as Portland will bring it inbound.
They not only cannot foul, but if they must, let Portland have a 2-point shot. Let them have it. It's not going to hurt them. It's not going to beat them if they don't foul. Let them have the 2-point shot. But come outside that line and play the defense on any of those guys who are going to look at a three-pointer out there. The three-pointer right now is the only way Portland has a chance to get back in this game. So it's going to be interesting now to see. Danny Ainge is in there. Danny Young, all of the good three-point shooters. Terry Porter. There's Clyde Drexler. Now remember, this Portland ball club at three-point range is one of the league's best at 43%.
That's why Danny Young is good.
Yeah, and Ainge is a 59%er, Porter a 40%er, and Danny Young, well, he's at...
Here's Ainge. He'll bring it in. Danny Young's hit 3 already tonight. Porter has it. He's tied up by Payton. He will not get the shot off. He hit it. He hit it. The buzzer sounded. Garrison is indicating the shot is gone. He hit it at the buzzer, the three-pointer. He hit the 3 at the buzzer. Porter was tied up as the buzzer sounded. It appeared as if he did not get it off in time. But the official will make the call. The official makes the call. Here you see it.
Let's see if we can watch the clock now. Here we go on the television replay. Watch the clock. At 1-3. There it's down to 8. There's the ball. Bounced away for a moment. Porter gets it back. It's down to 2. It's down to 1. It has not left his hand. That was not a good shot.
Hands on the replay.
The instant replay shows the ball did not leave his hand before. That is another bad call that could cost the Sonics a ball game.
Ronnie Garrison, 106-106. We'll go into this second overtime. Right, let's see it again.
Let's watch it again here. Here we go. For those of you watching on television, it's down to 1 second. There's the play in there by Payton. Good defense on Porter. Porter takes the... there. The ball is still in his hands and the clock is all out. The ball is still in his hands and the clock has run out.
We called it from here that way. When the buzzer sounded, the ball had not left his hand. The official, not looking at the clock apparently, a bang-bang call. And again, as the replay shows, if only we could... Obviously, in the NFL, they have the benefit of the replay. I hope they never do in the NBA. I don't think it's a good system at all, but the officials, in this case, have missed that one. And 106-106, the Blazers get another break. And we are going to the second overtime. Now, you're just joining us. There was a foul called on a break by Kersey into the lane with the Sonics leading 95-94. That occurred with triple zeros on the clock. They called the foul on McKee, and 106-106, the Blazers get another break. And we are going to the second overtime. Now, you're just joining us. There was a foul called on a break by Kersey into the lane with the Sonics leading 95-94. That occurred with triple zeros on the clock. They called the foul on McKee, who was in the vicinity of Kersey, but on the replay showed clearly that McKee did not foul Kersey. Cage had a piece of the ball, but really nothing more. But they called the foul on McKee. It was his 6th foul, so he was out of the overtime. Kersey then subsequently hit one of the 2 free throws, and we went into overtime tied. That's how we got into the first overtime. And as you just saw on the multiple replays, Porter hitting the 3 with, as the replay showed, the ball in his hands. Triple zeros on the clock. Should not have counted, but the officials rule that it does count. And we are tied now at 106-106 as we go into the second overtime. A wild game indeed. Kemp and Robinson will tip it up. The tip is won by the Sonics, Michael Cage. Now Freak will take it. Skips it over to Xavier McDaniel in the corner. Jeb steps right, takes it left, double teamed out to Freak. Set, fires 17-footer. Good! Sedale 3 gets it started on the right foot. Dale now has 13 points in the ball game. Up comes Terry Porter. Porter on the wing, sidearms a pass to Kersey, nearly got away from him. Kersey extends his frame to get it. 14 on the shot clock, out to Terry Porter. Porter rubs up Payton on the pick, feeds to the point to Drexler, threw it out of bounds. He threw it right by Cliff Robinson. Cliff had a hand on it, but that's all, and it's deflected out. Seattle will bring it up. 108 to 106. Seattle by 2 in the second overtime. Gary Payton works outside, covered by Terry Porter. Payton off the pick, set by Kemp. Steers it to the point to Threet off the Kemp screen. Threet will back outside with 9 on the shot clock. With 7, with 6. McDaniel beyond the three-point mark with 5, with 4. Backs, turns, fires up a shot. Good! McDaniel with 1 on the shot clock. 37 points for the X. 110-106. Sonics by 4. 3:59 to go in overtime. Here is Drexler outside. Drexler on the point. Flips it to Kersey, turns, fires a shot. Good! Jerome Kersey with a rainbow arcing J. 17 for Kersey. 110 to 108. Sonics by 2 with 3:43 to go in the overtime. Payton works outside, rubs off Porter on the Kemp pick. Porter fights through to cover Payton, guns it over to Threet, left to the key. Step back jumper by Sedale. In and out. Rebound followed by Kemp. Ball short, but we've got a loose ball foul inside. It's on a Blazer. This one is called on Cliff Robinson. Third foul on Robinson.
You can't call it a makeup call because at this stage of the game, there's no such a thing. But Ronnie Garrison, we might say, made that call.
110 to 108. 3:29 to go in the second overtime. Payton in the corner has it. Payton circles out high. Flips it to Kemp on the wing. Kemp to Threet. Head of the key. Covered by Cliff Robinson on a switch. Means Payton is covered by Porter down low. Payton looking for help. Kemp checked by Kersey. McDaniel raises up out of the way. He drains another one. 39 for McDaniel. Xavier McDaniel, 39 points. He's hit 17 out of 30. 112 to 108. Porter into the lane. Blocked away from behind by Cage. Into the hands of Kemp. Kemp up the floor to Payton across midcourt. Gary spins away into the lane. Hands off to Threet. Up and off left. Yes. Sedale has 15. 2:46 to go in the second overtime. 114. 108. Sonics lead by a half dozen. 1-8 play. The Sonics getting a big block from Cage and wheeling it up the floor under the guidance of Gary Payton. And it was Threet on the wing who knocked one in off the window.
Well, I tell you, it's been Threet and X all the way. They're each 2 for 2 in this second overtime. Gary Payton, who has pushed the ball up very hard, the Oregon State rookie, comes down court on that last play. Out to Threet. Nice little jump from the left side. Banks it in. And with Threet, you know, you sometimes worry when you see that ball headed to the backboard. He is not usually a bank shot artist. He is usually a straight-on shoot for the rim type guy. But I tell you, the two guys, the Sonics, all of a sudden, Kevin, you get that they're feeling something in their hearts in this clutch ball game, despite the adversity of a call right in the last second of each. Well, not in the last second of the first overtime, because it was after the last second of the overtime. Despite the adversity of those two calls that went against them that actually have cost them the game already, they have sucked it up, they have knuckled down, and they're going at it. At the defensive end, you again, I tell you, Michael Cage, we cannot say too much about the game that Michael Cage has played tonight. Cage sets the screen that frees X there for that long shot. And X has just been deadly tonight with 17 for 30 and 39 points. X is just 2 points away now from tying his all-time career high, which, as you mentioned, came against New York. I don't believe that was an overtime game, however. But remember, as we said, we didn't want to see him break it because it would mean another overtime. Well, we're in that other overtime now, and I never thought we'd be here.
No, I didn't either.
A break by the official on when Porter got a free three-point shot because the clock was already finished. The game was over. He got it, and Ronnie Garrison said it was good. So now, Kevin, we come back to the action. 2:44 to go on the overtime. It is not one. The Sonics have a 6-point lead. Now, so they really have to knuckle down.
2:44 to go in the game. We were tied at the end of regulation at 95, tied in the first overtime at 106. And the Sonics have a 6-point lead at 114 to 108 with 2:43 to go in the second overtime. Terry Porter brings the ball up the floor. He is covered by Gary Payton. Remember the 5-overtime, 4.5-hour game against Milwaukee last year? Here comes Drexler into the lane. Double team. Forced up a shot over Threet. Threet got a piece of it. Kemp cannot control it on the inline because he was tripped up by Drexler. Foul on Clyde McGlide. Sonics take possession of it. Up by 6. 2:28 remaining in the ball game. Here is 3. Sedale works between the double circles, flings it out there to Case, and he will get it back, covered by Drexler. Over to Peyton on the near side, covered by Porter. Peyton skips inside, Kemp turns up, fake, can't beat Robinson, leads on Robinson, fires up a shot, might have been blocked short, saved in bounds by Robinson, right to Drexler. Drexler across midcourt, ahead to the running Kersey to the lane, laying up and in. Kersey's got 19. 114 to 110. Sonics by 4, 1:56 to go in the second overtime. And you thought you were going to get to bed early tonight. Here's Peyton covered by Porter. Peyton slashes left to the key, circles back outside. Peyton skips it to the X-Men. Double team, back to Peyton. He penetrates inside. Off glass, good! Great pass by McDaniel. As Peyton just kept hurling his body to the glass. Nice play, Gary. Porter pulls up. His cast is off the mark from 3. Tapped up and in. A bevy of hands inside. Give it to Buck Williams. 116 to 112. Sonics lead is 4. 1:27 to go in the second overtime. Peyton on the point. Out to Kemp. Now to Gary on the wing. Over it goes to X, mid-post. Backs in on the blocks, turns, double-teamed, out to 3. 10 on the shot clock. 3 steps back, knocks Williams off the ball. 3 fires, pumps it up short. Cage jumps out before the ball got off the iron. Kersey taps the 3, and here comes Terry Porter. Porter rubs off his man, Peyton on the Robinson pick. That leaves Cage with a jump switch on Porter. Porter steps back beyond the 3-point mark. Porter moving laterally on the mark. Takes it into the lane on a dribble drive. Gives it to Drexler. Wild shot off the mark. Kersey the rebound. Follow. No, but he is fouled. Boy, that's a big play there. Foul inside is on Sean. And if the foul is indeed on Sean, he has fouled out. As you take a look at Porter's drive to the hole.
Well, Porter goes in nicely. Dishes the ball out on kind of a blind feed. Nice hand for Sean Gibb as he comes to the bench. Sean has played a fine game tonight. Has scored 6 points. He has hit only 2 for 10, but he has 9 rebounds, and that's second only to Michael Cage's 13 for anybody on the floor for either team tonight. So right now, the Sonics have seen their lead at 116 to 112 with a chance of Kersey, who, by the way, has all of the points so far, all 4 points of the, or 6 points of the Trailblazers in this overtime, with a chance to go up and get some more here.
Here's Jerome. He hit it. Of course, it was Kersey who missed one of the 2 free throws that would have given the Blazers the win outright at the end of regulation. It was. He hit the second of the 2 to tie it. 51 seconds remaining. Kersey to the line. The shot is up. It is in there. Good. Kersey is 21. 116 to 114. It's a 2-point Sonic lead. 50 seconds remaining in the game. 6-year veteran Terry Porter leading on the rookie from Skyline High in Oakland. Peyton gets the 3. Back to GP. Out high with 19 on the shot clock. Low and goes to X. Backs, turns, fires, and fades. Missed it. Rebound tap skyward. Who's going to get it? Michael Cage comes back outside. 30 seconds remaining in the game. 23 on the shot clock. Peyton tosses over to X-Man. Sonics can afford to play cat and mouse, and a great timeout called by Casey Jones. With 24 seconds remaining in the game, 16 on the shot clock. A differential, actually, of 8.8 seconds between shot clock and game clock, and the Sonics leading with possession 116 to 114.
Well, Rook Adelman and his gang are going to find out what it's like out on the road because, of course, after tonight they have one more game at home against Utah. They will have played 11 of their first 15 on their home court. They've already played 10 of their first 13. And they've done a good job there. They've beaten some pretty good ball clubs out on the road. They have won games at Sacramento and an overtime where the Lakers, and of course, won up at Denver. So of those 3 games, the Lakers is probably the only really tough one that they've had on the road. But after tonight, as a matter of fact, they've really had a great schedule. They're playing great ball, but they've had a tremendous early season schedule. And even when they go on the road this next week, Miami, Orlando, Indiana, and Chicago. Chicago, one tough team in there. The Sonics go on the road on Monday, starting at Boston, have 5 games in 7 days. They have 2 extremely tough ones in there. Milwaukee at the end of the trip, Boston at the beginning of the trip, and hey, New Jersey has won 4 out of its last 5 as they had a victory tonight, 111-92 over Orlando. So, and Orlando has been playing well at home. Miami's been playing well at home. So nothing is a cinch for either one of these teams on these trips. But I would say overall that Portland, while they're playing extremely well, have had the kind of a schedule early in the season a coach dreams of.
Well, the Sonics have 2 of their big men on the bench with fouls. Kemp is fouled out in the second overtime. McKee's fouled out at the end of regulation on a questionable call indeed. But the two keys, as Bob has mentioned, in the offensive end anyway, Freak with his 17, McDaniel with his 39, and Michael Cage doing everything else. 14 rebounds, unofficially 2 steals, 2 blocks for Michael, and 9 points, 3 for 3 from the field. Michael Cage has done a number of other little things, like deflections, like screening for the shooter, Xavier McDaniel. So let's see what happens here. 16 on the shot clock, 24.8 seconds on the game clock. 116, 114, Sonics by 2. The inbound comes to midcourt here. Payton carried by Porter. Spins to the left of the key. Flips it to 3. 3 ball hand off for Wilkie. Picks up his dribble and guns it outside to Gary Payton. 5 on the shot clock for GP. He's got to create. Into the lane. He comes underhand finger roll. Yes! He spun! And when he did, came around with the underhand finger roll. The caught iron and rolled in. 14 for GP. Sonics 118. Blazers 114 with 8 seconds remaining in the ball game. A 4-point lead for Seattle with 8 seconds remaining in the game, and Portland basketball.
You know, there's one thing I've been happy to see as far as the Sonics are concerned, and that is Gary Payton. Early in the ball game, probably 4 or 5 times, went for the outside shot, but now on this play, gets the ball from 3, and what he does so well, creates, goes inside. He either creates something for somebody else, or in this case, does a spin move, goes up with the underhanded scoop shot, bounces around a little bit, whoop, and there it goes in. Michael Cage was right there to take a swipe at the ball if it were going to come out. So Gary Payton again. It's interesting, Kevin, in a game like this, now you have 2 basic rookies. I'm going to call Sean Kemp still basically a rookie because he's only had 1 year of NBA and no college play, so he's still learning a lot. But those 2 guys, Kemp and Payton, who are a big part of the Sonics' future, have been in crunch time these last few minutes of this ballgame. And that's important that these guys get that kind of experience, and they are proving themselves under fire here tonight.
And we mentioned the fact that youth might have been a problem for the Sonics in the fourth quarter. When entering the fourth quarter, they were up by 14 points. Really mishandled the basketball, did not shoot well, and had a number of key turnovers in the fourth quarter. But boy, what a learning experience that has been for the Sonics, who have quickly turned it around here and have battled back and have battled really adversity. Some questionable calls, certainly, at critical times to this ball game. At the end of regulation to put it into overtime, and of course, at the end of the first overtime session, when the buzzer shot by Terry Porter was allowed after on the replay. It clearly showed Porter had the ball in his hands with 000 showing on the clock. All that is history now. What the Sonics have to worry about is how to bottle the Blazers up for at least 6 seconds. 8.3 seconds remaining here in the second overtime session. 118 to 114. The Sonics lead by 4.
I mentioned it on Monday night when that trip starts at Boston, 4:06 in the afternoon. Will be simulcast time.
From the Garden, where they're going to retire Johnny Most's microphone. That should be funny.
I guess that'll be radio only. Yeah, it's going to be interesting back there because the Sonics, of course, you'd love, if you're a Sonic fan and a Sonic player and a Sonic coach, to see them get a getaway win here tonight. No question about that. Because it's not an easy road trip, but if they can get the confidence gained from their experience here tonight and a victory to go with it, they could get a little bit tougher on that road trip, and they've almost always gone back to Boston. They have a pretty good record in Boston at the Garden, winning ball games back there when they were not supposed to. So, obviously, Boston losing in their game tonight, only their 3rd loss of the season. They're going to be tough. They'll want to come back. But, of course, right now, this is the game. 8 minutes and 3 seconds left for the Sonics to have a 4-point lead. You have to like where they're sitting. But I tell you, this NBA basketball, when you come into crunch time like this, Kevin, it's such a crazy, such an exciting sport. So many things could happen. As a matter of fact, at the end of that first overtime, we didn't comment on it at the time because we got started back so quickly. But Rick Adelman was up and was complaining to the officials that he thought, and very likely it could have been called, if Payton did in fact get that shot away, he may have been fouled on that 3-point shot by Gary Payton when he put that one up to tie the ball game.
Porter,
Yeah, when Porter put that shot up, followed by Gary Payton, I think. And that's what Adelman was trying to get, which would have ended the game right there.
Of course he would. It's not enough to have the shot count with 000 right with the ball in the head of Porter, but all right, here we go. 118, 114, Sonics by 4, 8.3 seconds remaining in the second overtime. Also, what makes it thrilling here, and I know we've had some comments about Ronnie Garrison, Jack Madden, and David Jones. Aren't you glad the NBA doesn't use a replay? I mean, it's a very human game, as you pointed out, Bob, and that's what makes crunch time even more unpredictable. The fact that it will depend on a human making a call in a split second. Robinson will bring it in. Tosses across the court to Ainge. A good three-point shooter. Fouled by Payton as he reaches in. It will send Danny Ainge to the line because the Sonics are over the limit. Ainge is an excellent free throw shooter. And 1.5 seconds ticking off the clock in the inbound. And now the Blazers can score.
Yeah, Seattle, that was not a good foul by Gary Payton. Made a tremendous effort to try to steal that ball, but got his chest up on Ainge. It goes to the line.
Ainge hits the first to pull the Blazers now to within 3. 118 to 115. Why contend the pass? Be content to contain the man you're up for. Ainge hits the free throw. Ainge hits them both. Ainge now is up to 9 in the ball game. 118 to 116. 7.3 seconds remaining in overtime. It's easy to second guess from over here, but on that inbound pass, it's out so wide. The man is well beyond the three-point mark. Why gamble? Try to reach in. You've got to play back and off the man. Make sure you have your body positioned. And if he decides to take the three, get up in his face, Bob, but it doesn't mean the ball game by any means. You got to force him left or right. You got to force him to use some clock. Those are particular case. It was Ron Garrison who was on the floor and was finally getting in between those two players. And I think Ron learned something from that occasion as well in the Garden that night.
Not to get between two big guys is what you learned.
He did a nice job, but he didn't do it soon enough is the problem. He didn't anticipate the battle between the two. All right, Daly will come on for the Sonics along with Dana Barrow, Sedale Threet, Michael Cage, and Xavier McDaniel. Sonics lead by 2, 118-116. Where's Art Harris? He's not on the floor. 7.3 seconds remaining in the second overtime. McDaniel will bring it in bounds. Next man pats the ball. People sprint to the ball. He sends two people after the ball. That's thrown away. Ainge picks it up ahead to Porter. Lays it in.
All right, that's what we're talking about.
3.6 seconds remaining in the game. Porter hits it. We're tied at 118-118. Porter with 31 points. You saw it happen just like that. You had Daly and Barrows coming to the ball, coming right straight at the basketball. X trying to slip it to the 2. Threw it into backcourt. Ainge quickly picks it up ahead to Porter. We are tied at 1-8.
Time went to work hard at it. Got a quick 6-point lead. Held off the Trailblazers. Had a 4-point lead there with just a little over 8 seconds to play, and they've let it evaporate. We've seen this happen so many times.
Here's McMillan now to throw the ball in bounds. 118-118. We've got the same identical set of situations. 3.6 seconds remaining on the clock. Let's see if KC's diagrammed another play. They send X and Cage low. Out high is Threet and Barrows. Now let's see if they bring two guys with the ball this time. Nate McMillan will bring it in bounds. Nate looking for help. Gives to X. He's double teamed. Got to get rid of it. He slips and free the double team. Did he draw a foul? And he did. Outside. A tripping foul. It's on Kersey, but Sonics aren't in the bonus. Had possession up 2. McDaniel made a bad pass. A turnover. Porter laid it in. 118 on that inbounds pass. And the Sonics' last gasp for the second overtime from Cage went well off the mark. So here we are in the third overtime. 118-118. Kemp has fouled out, and McKee has fouled out. McKee in regulation, Kemp in the overtime. And on the jump ball, an infraction call on the Blazers. And the Sonics will bring it out of bounds. So the Sonics again will try to draw first blood in the overtime session. Extra double team, dead line left. Outside the 3, it goes to Gary Payton. Payton skips it on X, backs, turns, leans on Robinson. He went up and blocked the shot out of bounds. As X was going up, Robinson was coming down, and he just snapped it away, and the Sonics will take possession. Along with Bob Blackburn, Kevin Calabro with you tonight here on the simulcast. We're in our third overtime. A Street winds up from 20 and delivers. This one rattles off, and Williams grabs the rebound. 118-118 the score. Terry Porter will pump it across midcourt. A bullet pass to Drexler on the sideline. Lobs it low. Kersey double team. Jerome turns. Wheels it outside to Porter, intercepted by Gary Payton. Payton is loaded backcourt, hands off to McMillan. Up to Gary. Payton on the wing, goes by Kersey, sets his feet up in the left hand, blocked by Robinson, big block. Out to McDaniel, though. Sonics have it with 14 on the shot clock. Payton slips across court to McMillan. Centers it to 3. Now back to Payton. Works the near side point. Rubs off Porter on the McDaniel screen, tried to flip it cross court to McMillan, but it was broken up by Drexler, and he was fouled behind, but in backcourt by Gary Payton. And I believe Payton has fouled out, gentlemen. He has. Gary Payton will go to the Pine, and in will come Dana Barrows.
Well, I tell you, Seattle short three top players right now, and the Trailblazers have only Kersey about maybe to foul out with 5 on him.
Third overtime, tied at 118. Kemp, McKee, and now Payton have fouled out of the game. Porter has it. High post left of the lane. Robinson lobs it inside deep to Drexler. Blocked and stolen inside by Freight, but he couldn't catch up in time as he stepped on the in line. It will be Portland basketball. 3:56 to go in the third overtime. 118 to 118. Kersey to bring it in. Kersey gets it outside. Robinson, an up fake into the paint, in deep, leans in, 8-footer off the mark. Rebound, spot for inside. McMillan to the breaking three. He breaks away from Robinson to the glass. Laying up and in. Tadale 3 has 19. 120 to 118. The Sonics draw first blood here in the third overtime. 3:38 to go in the game. Porter looking low, gives to Kersey, spins with a drop step power move inside. X-Man blocked it from behind. Kersey picks it up, loops one up, but we've got a jump ball called inside. X-Man was down deep, along with Cage. Who tied him up, though? Was it X? We'll see on the replay.
I tell you, those Sonics have been tough inside. Cage, McMillan. There's Cage again, making the play to force that play and the tie-up here.
X-Man will jump it up with Jerome Kersey. 3:31 to go in the third overtime.
Now there's McMillan stepping in. Now they change it.
Nate steps in at 6'5" against Kersey at 6'8". Madden stands between them. Here's the tap. Both draw. It's loose. Drexler has it, and a foul call on Drexler's pass-off. It's on the Sonics, Nate McMillan. He's in no danger of fouling out of the game. It's his third. Back then the Sonics are, except for, well, possibly 3, who has 4 fouls. Drexler brings it in. Gives to Terry Porter, forecourt right on top at the point. With a first 24, the shot clock is Kersey. Over it goes to Drexler. Shakes right, moves left, pulls up under the guard of 3. Shot comes up short. Green out a piece of it, and it came right down to Xavier McDaniel. Green with a big play there. 3:16 to go in the third overtime. 120 to 118. McMillan backs down, covered by Terry Porter. Veteran on veteran. McMillan to Barrows beyond the 3-point mark. Dana starts up on Drexler. Out wide on the wing to McDaniel, reaching out as Buck Williams on the overplay. A foul is called. The foul is on Buck.
Number 5 on Williams.
So with 3 minutes remaining here in the third overtime, Seattle will again bring it in bounds. Leading by 2, 120 to 118. 20 on the shot clock for 3. Dribbles it, works off the McMillan pick. The Porter fights through. We give to X in the corner. X squares, fires, hit! Xavier McDaniel has 41, tying his career high set against the Knicks. Porter works up the wing, covered by Barrows. Porter goes to Drexler on the sideline. Porter's covered by 3. Porter jumps it out to Robinson, 16-footer. Good. Robinson has hit some big J's. He's got 14. 122 to 120. Sonics lead is 2. 2:26 to go in the third overtime. 3 to McDaniel. X-Man jab step. Holding his ground inside his Kersey. Here's a pass to 3, scooting through. Tied up, out the barrel. Over to McMillan. Thought about a 3, won't take it. Beats it to Barrows in the corner. Starts by Drexler into the lane. Challenges Robinson. His roller off glass. Won't go. Cage keeps it alive. Williams looked like he last touched it, but Jack Madden says, oh, it was you, Michael. And Portland will bring it up. Portland trailing by 2. 2 minutes remaining in the overtime. We're in overtime number 3. Sonics lead it 122 to 120 as Porter breaks into the lane, stops, back step, jumper from 15. Yes, Harry Porter. 33 big ones. 122, 122. A minute 55 remaining in the third overtime. Tied in Seattle. Here comes X into the lane, splits the D, a slightly move to the lane. Back step, 15-footer, no. Williams the rebound, the outlet to Porter at midcourt. Harry Porter, the cool veteran, now in his 6th year. Outside Porter, I'd give it him 33. He has 36 on the ball game. Porter works on Barrows. Porter fires a long one inside the 3-point mark. He hit it just inside the line. 38 for Porter. 124, 122. Blazers by a deuce. A minute 25 to go in overtime number 3. 3 feeds outside. Barrows sets his feet. Steers it into the lane. Not the 3. Wide open Jay. Not this time. Cage grabs the rebound. Dribbles out of pressure, lunging for Porter, and Porter picks up the foul, but it's only his first. Blazers team foul number 2. The Blazers lead by 2, 124 to 122. As you see, 3. He had the open jumper from the angle, but he rimmed it off. And Michael Cage gathers in the rebound. He has 15 boards tonight. Sonics bring it inbound. Trailing by 2 with 1:08 to go in the third overtime. Barrow stands beyond the three-point mark. He'll challenge Porter. Porter turns him. Barrow slips it left to the key to McDaniel. Twists the ball in his hands. 11 on the shot clock. Robinson at 6'10 jumps out on the 6'7 McDaniel. X gives to 3. 5 on the shot clock for Sedale. 6'10 Robinson on 3 to X. 3 on the shot clock. Turnaround drop step jumper. Short. Rebound covered by Kersey. They got to bring it back. It did not hit the iron. 24-second shot clock violation. That will slow the Blazers and make them go to the half court. Looked like they had a break going the other way, so Seattle in a just win it 130-124 in the third overtime. Bob and I will be back to recap in a moment here on the Sonics Broadcasting Network.